Hi, this is another system that you and I worked out together that was very troublesome. So we're going to use this new method that we worked on in the last video. Hopefully, again, the more we do this, the easier it becomes. Again, this is the key to make this all work. So the first thing we need to do is change that 2 into a 1 by doing whatever it is that we need to do to make that well, actually, no, I'm sorry. The first thing we're going to do, is switch these 2 rows because we've got a 0 here and we need a 1 there. So the best thing to do would be to switch rows 2 and 3. That way we can force a 1 into that position down there. So negative 1, 1, 0, 8. All right, now we're going to change that 2 into a 1 by multiplying the whole row by 1/2. And that's going to give us okay. Now, what we can do is naturally add down because the next job is to change these 2 numbers here to zeros. So it's already set up that we can just add down. So the top row remains the same. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. Negative 1 plus negative 1/2 plus 0 is negative 1/2. And 3 plus 8 is 11. Now we need to change this into a 0. So we can just multiply that row by a negative 1. And then add down. So 1 minus 1 gives us our 0 there. 1 plus 3 is a 4. And negative 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1.5, which is negative 3/2. And then 3 plus 18, that's this outside here, is 21. So we got our first job done. Now, the second thing we need to do, and these steps will be followed all the time. We're going to change that to a 1 by whatever means we have to. So we are going to multiply in a 1/2. And again, these fractions might look a little bit intimidating, but don't worry about them. They will eventually all go away, promise. Okay. So we have our 1 here. Now we have to change this to a 0. So the way we do that, knowing that we are always working down, we're going to multiply this row by a negative 4. Because you see now when you add down, you're going to get rid of that 4 and change it into a 0, which again, of course, is the goal. So we are adding down 0 plus 0 is 0, negative 4 plus 4 is 0, and 1 minus negative, 1 minus 1.5 is negative 1/2. And then 22, negative 22 plus 21 is negative 1. So that's where we are right now. So now we are going to change this back into a, or change that to a 1. So doing that, we'll multiply by a negative 2. Actually, I kind of went out of order, and I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to back up just a bit here. Okay. 1, 1. I went out of order, and I did not want to do that. I have this written down on another sheet of paper, and I looked at the wrong column. So adding down, we have 0 plus 0 is 0, negative 4 plus 4 is 0, and 1 minus 1.5 is negative 1/2, and negative 22 plus 21 is negative 1. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to change that back to a 1 by multiplying in a negative 1/4, which gives us a 1 back. And then 22, I mean, it doesn't matter. We could leave it as a not reduced fraction. It doesn't matter. Okay, now we're working up. I'm going to change colors now. For working up, we're going to change that to a 0. So instead of like right here, and right here, and right here, we were adding down. Now we are going to be adding up. So we're going to change this one right here, top row, middle number, into a 0. Okay, that is the next step in this process. So let's multiply, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Can multiply that by a negative 1. So we have a 1. Actually, let's multiply the top row by a negative 1. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. and then we will add up. So 0 minus 1 is -1, then 0, and 1/2 minus 1/4 is 1/4, and 22/4 minus 3 is 2.5, which is 5/2. Your calculator will give you this in fractions. And then 0, 1, okay, so that almost done. We need to get rid of that negative, so we're just going to rewrite it and change all the signs. Okay, so the first two columns are done. Now we need to change this to a 1. So we'll multiply by a 2. Actually a -2. And we get that z is equal to -2. Remember that z is the last thing that we are going to solve for. Now I just have to rewrite this on the next page. Actually, let's see, I'm going to, no, I don't want to erase all that. Yeah, I guess maybe I can. Sorry, this is taking so long. So we are picking up from here. So I'm just going to rewrite that one over here. All right, now we are again working up. So we need to change that -1/4 to a 0 by adding up. So the best way to do that would be to, the easiest way to do it would be to multiply this row by a 4 and multiply this row by a 4 as well. Because that gives us a -1 there. Oh no, we don't want to multiply that last row by a 4. We don't need to do that. So we can just go back to the 0, 0, 1, -2, and add up. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 4 is 4, 1 minus 1 is 0. Then we get a 20, then 0, 0, 1, -2. Now we can change that back to a 1. So 1/4. we multiply in a 1/4. So what we just accomplished there was y is equal to 5. Okay, last step is to get rid of that. So we're going to multiply that by a 4. Which will give us 4, 0, -1, and -10, 0, 1, 0, 5, 0, 0, 1, -2, and add up. So 0 plus 4 is 4, 0, 0, -12, 0, 1, 0, 5, 0, 0, 1, -2, and last step is to multiply in a 1/4. So 1, 0, 0, -3, so x is -3, y is 5, and z is -2. Okay, there you go.